kill comparison, or comparison will kill you. I think that's a lot of things that's where a lot of people get caught up in the comparison game, especially on social media. And I always come and say that everyone's life is like a time zone. Like Dubai is 3 hours ahead, but Dubai is 3 hours ahead because it's in its time zone. Dubai isn't necessarily actually ahead because it's in a different time zone.
Yeah.
And that's how it is with everyone. Everyone's just in a different time zone. So you're not ahead of me and I'm not behind you. Just
good.
a different time zone.
That's good.
Mexico's behind, right? LA's behind.
Yeah.
Am I gonna come and be like, oh yeah, like it's just a different time zone.
Yeah.
So that's why I come. What time zone you in? When you have that conversation when I'm trying to book calls with my clients, what time zone you in?
You asked them that question?
Not yet, because I have a lot of clients that are around the world. So I ask them so when I'm having conversations, like what time zone are you in? And I feel a lot of people should have that same narrative in terms of where they are in life. What time zone are you in?
What you say you're in right now then?
Like what time zone I'm in?
Yeah.
I'll say I'm in London time right now. I'm just taking it steady, you know. But I feel like that's the thing. I think comparison is definitely where a lot of people get killed in the area of consistency. And I think with consistency as well, something that I've been hearing the whole week when I've been praying is God has emotions, but God is not emotional. And that's another thing that I think takes out a lot of people consistency is emotional. You can have emotions, process your emotions, heal from your emotions, but don't be emotional. That is when you act from your emotions. That is when you speak from your emotions. So you have people who've literally cursed themselves and cursed their blessing because of the fact they're emotional. You've had people who have ruined relationships, ruined amazing relationships, people who are meant to help you, people who are meant to guide you. Why? Because you had emotions and you were also emotional. And this is one of the things, and I really do believe that we're meant to represent God in the kingdom. I do believe that in the world, we are meant to be, an example of God. So when he was saying that to me, it was also a message of, hey, you can have emotions, but don't be emotional.
Question, right?
Right.
So you said that right there about not being emotional. At the start of this whole podcast, you spoke about how life is life in.
Yeah.
And even though life is life in, you're still going through it, right? And still being strong, right? Just in case people haven't really peeped that, your mindset is something which is you worked on very intentionally to be where you are today.
Definitely.
How did you set your mind to have such a mindset to be able to endure when things are going so left?
Yeah.
That's a very important way, a very important aspect of living and walking in purpose.
I looked at particular things in my life.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, good question. I'm one person that I love to observe.
Yeah.
I love to observe people. And I look at who is emotional around me.
Emotional.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I looked at one time in my life. I said, who's emotional around me? And where is their life? Am I inspired by their life? A lot of people who are emotional around me.
I say what?
You say that a lot about how you look at people's lives and see you want to be like them.
Yeah. And absolutely. I see, and I felt that the people who were around me that were quite emotional, I don't have emotional people around me. I have people who are very, very emotionally intelligent, like they're aware of their emotions, but they're not emotional.
Yes.
But the people who I know, who I knew or know, should I say, who are very emotional, I looked at their lives and I was like, no. Nah. I'm good. And I looked at the people who had a lot of emotional intelligence and were quite emotional stable and healthy in their emotions. And I was like, And I look at beyond the surface whenever I'm looking at people's lives. So I look at, okay, cool. A lot of the most successful people are married.
Yeah.
For me, around me.
I've been seeing that one still.
Yeah, a lot of people around me.
What you say, bro?
I've seen comment.
A lot of people around me are happily married. My life completely changed when I married my husband.
Wow.
That was my husband, amazing. Yeah, my income doubled, tripled probably, even quadrupled.
Wow.
Since I've been married. The amount of nations. The amount of nations that I've opened up to, literally.
Wow.
Like, I've traveled the most since being married for speaking and work in my whole speaking career.
22nd of June, we're going to be having our last event. So make sure that you tap in, make sure that you come through. Tickets are cheaper than usual. We want to see people that we're lowering the barrier to entry. We just want to see your faces, right? We want to see your faces for the last time in a while.
Within the past 2 years since I've been married.
It's been 2 years already?
2 years in October. So it's been was it like 16 months maybe?
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. Wow.
Yeah. So so been married about 16 months. And the amount of times that I've traveled specifically for work, speaking engagements, has been the most in this time frame in the 8 years prior that I'd been doing speaking engagements.
That is incredible.
That's wild.
So that's another thing in terms of the global impact and stuff like that. Yeah, I always tell people marry well.
Yeah.
Marry well, because who you marry will impact what you put out on the earth, because their mindset will impact you, their emotions will impact you. Like Sterling is not emotional. Sterling has emotions, but he is literally I'm more emotional than him. And they'll come and say, oh, it's because I'm a woman. But generally, Sterling's not an emotional person. Like,
logical.
He's very logical. Like, he's very different to me. I'm very like intuitive. Even when I speak from where I feel.
Yeah.
Like, even in terms of when I do speaking engagements, someone can come and ask me, okay, Hayley, like, what are you feeling to speak about? And I'm very spiritual with how I talk. So even when it comes to speaking engagements, I come and say speaking is spiritual.
Yes.
Like, I will
SP.
surrender myself. Yeah, SP. You know, when you remember, speaking is spiritual. I'll always come and say speaking and spiritual has the same foundation. SP.
Yes.
And before I do any speaking engagement, I'm going before God and I'm like, okay, God, this is what I want to do, but God, what do you want to deliver?
That's good.
And let me be a vessel of what you want to deliver. Every single time I have a message, it's God, what do you want to deliver on the earth? Because that is what you are. At the end of the day, you're a vessel. And I find that, you know, being with somebody, being married to somebody who is not emotional has helped me not be emotional. Yeah, for sure, definitely. And I would say one of the last things that I've learned in terms of the area of consistency is take time, have patience. The West is always rushing to go somewhere. Where are you running to? Where are you rushing to?
That is so interesting. Like, I remember, who was it? I'm not sure if it was my auntie or someone like that was telling me that if I was in Jamaica, like where I'm from, if I was in Jamaica, they would know that I'm from London straight.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to talk to me. Like, they would just know because of how fast I'm walking. Yeah. Because I'm rushing to get places and everyone there is just taking their time to get there.
Like, and that's why I love to travel sometimes. And that's one of the reasons why I love Dubai and the reasons why I spend the majority of my time there, because when I'm in London, I just feel like for no reason, I just feel to run.
Really?
For no reason. I just want to like just walk like fast. Like, why?
What's the fine line though between, obviously, we are all purpose-led people in this room, right?
Yeah.
That's why you're here, right? Like purpose-led woman, right?
Come on.
So purpose itself, we have to walk, we have to move at a faster rate than normal. But then what's
Who said that?
Because we've got people to impact, people to serve.
There's a difference between urgency and rushing.
Talk on it.
There's an urgency because God it requires us to do certain things in a particular time.
Yeah.
But if you rush it, you'll miss the excellence.
Okay.
And when you're rushing, you can't take in everything. Have you ever realized that, you know, when you're running, you're rushing? Let's say, for example, someone says, oh, I saw you. And I was like, I didn't see you. Sorry, I was in a rush. Or when someone's trying to talk to you, you're in a rush. You can't process what they're saying.
That's just like opportunities.
Yeah. And it's like, if you're rushing, you're going to miss the very thing that God's told you to do.
That's very good. My therapist says the same thing. Like, when you're driving down a 20 mile per hour road at 50 miles per hour, say I'm seeing you, say you're on a road, I won't see you.
Yeah.
If I drive at 20, I will see you. I will see you. Okay, that's a very good point.
And you have enough time as well. So just to even go off what your therapist said, if you are driving slow enough, for any reason, someone is also going just as fast and they drive in front of your car, you have enough power, enough processing power to stop your car. What accidents normally happen is speed.
Yeah.
That's normally, it's always speed.
Yeah.
Crashing, running over, accidents, speed. So we're living in a time where people are like, let's speed. But if we're seeing that the height of speed also increases the height of accidents, why aren't we learning something from that? Like, we should be learning that, wow, increasing my speed can also increase the opportunity of accidents.
Wow.
That's real.